Good day, audience and CGE followers. The Gauteng Provincial Office of the Commission for Gender Equality was hosting a webinar on unpacking women trafficking in persons, where it has invited key stakeholders such as social development, South African Police Services, National Prosecuting Authority, and the NGO that are at the forefront in dealing with issues of trafficking in persons. We should all take into cognizance that human trafficking, whether it is expressed or not, it is another form of gender-based violence, because with human trafficking, there are other secondary victimization or violations that are perpetuated on the person being trafficked, whether be it sexual exploitation, whether be it forced labor, whether be it drug smuggling, whether be it unpaid labor, whether be it sex work, you may name them. The human trafficking always, these kind of violations always are following, or rather are happening during or after a human is trafficked. So now these key stakeholders were giving us the detailed information on the services that they provide to these victims of human trafficking. They have highlighted that Gauteng, the metros especially, Gauteng, Cape Town, Durban, KZN, Western Cape and Gauteng are actually the hub, are actually affected by migration. Everyone, wherever within the country or even across in Zimbabwe and the neighboring states, feels or rather envy to be in Gauteng or Durban or Western Cape purely for economic purposes. So these human trafficking perpetrators use that as an advantage. When they recruit them, they will coerce them or lure them to say there's nice employment perhaps in Gauteng, there's nice employment in Durban or even KZN or rather Cape Town, and then these victims get excited and then they rush to these bigger cities only to find out that this is a scam for human trafficking, and then they end up in very hostile environment where they are forced to do things that they were not intending to do, hence violating their human rights. So social development is there and serves to ensure that as soon as they identify these kind of cases, they open a case, they contain them psychologically, they even go to as far as repatriating them back to their different provinces or even different countries. And then as the Commission, since this is a gender issue, because if you can check the statistics, more women and girls are being trafficked more than boys and men. We are aware that it's the same as GBV. More women and girls are abused as compared to male and boys. But we are not saying that we don't take the boy and men incident serious. We are just trying to show that women are at higher risk and girls of being victims of gender-based violence or victims of human trafficking. So this webinar unpacked all those issues, unpacked all the circumstances and the causes of these women, or rather men, boys and girls falling prey into this kind of crimes and end up wasting their life being wasted in this kind of chains that people, they find out, some of them, they will end up being arrested because they were trafficking drugs illegally. And so that in a nutshell, some they even fell pregnant, which also that can contribute to the high teenage pregnancy that in the past weeks we've had a webinar around to say the Gauteng Department of Education and Health together, they have realized that there is a high number of teenage pregnancy, more specifically during this COVID-19 period. So yes, human trafficking has been there and human trafficking is continuing to be there, and the COVID-19, like any other violences, even gender-based violence, COVID-19 has exacerbated these incidents, these issues, and then it needs all sectors involved to ensure that they come up with a program, or rather they enhance their services in trying to safeguard the poor lives of these victims of human trafficking and or gender-based violence. I thank you.